Naka-off po yung mic.
Ayan, pasensya. Wala kasi siya yun. Okay. So, ayan. Ulitin ko. So, sa contents natin class, we have the table 1, table 2, table 3, and 4. So, makikita niya, you have the different saturation temperature. So, we have that in page 2. So, as a different saturation pressure. Ayan. Wait lang, class. Hindi ko napipin. Okay. This is the symbol used in the steam table. And class. Specific heat, specific enthalpy. So, andito naman siya, class. Pero yung subscript natin, ituturo ko naman to. So, that is to the property of liquid. Pag F siya, class, fluid, liquid. Pag G sa class, gas or tinatawag nating vapor. And yung I natin naman refers to the equilibrium of solid and vapor. Yung FG and IG, evaporation and sublimation. Okay? So, this is your steam table. So, madaming numbers. So, first, we will, ayan. So, this is the saturation temperature. So, this is the temperature. So, yung temperature natin, class, is in degrees Celsius. So, take note of that. Naka-degrees Celsius siya. And yung pressure natin is in megapascal. So, if I have given you the value in kilopascal, you need to convert it in megapascal. So, for example, I have 101.325 kilopascal. That is the atmospheric pressure. What is the megapascal of that? You can chat it, class, sa chat box. Nakikita ko. Kasi tatlo yung screen ko ngayon, ah. Okay. Sige nga, your 101.325 kilopascal. Convert it into megapascal. Sige nga. Sige, class. 101.325. 101.325 kilopascal converted into megapascal. So, how do you? So, sa pressure natin, class, in the steam table, so, sulat ko lang para makita ng lahat. Yun sa steam table natin, class, na pinakita ko. So, you have your steam table with you, steam table 1. So, table 1 natin, class, which is the saturation pressure. The pressure, class. Temperature is table 2 yun. Saturation. Temperatures. So, makikita niya dito sa temperature. Class, if you can follow me, we are on the page 2. Everyone, did you hear me? Okay. Nakaka-follow ba? Punta kayo sa page 2, yung may steam table ng class. So, nire-record ko naman, class, para yung wala pang steam table, pwede nila pang balikan. Okay? Temperature. So, makikita niyo sa taas, that is in degrees Celsius. For example, this is the symbol here. Letter T. So, dito tayo sa number, bawa dito tayo sa 5 degrees Celsius. Okay. Along with that, kukuha kayo ng ruler. Sige. Sa pressure, class, sa pressure, okay, makikita nyo is, ang unit niya is in megapascal. Letter P siya dito. So, here, class, makikita nyo 0.00. So, pag mali na kayo sa point, mali na yung answer nyo. 0.008721. So, this is in megapascal. Megapascal to, class, ha? So, convert mo yan into megapascal to kilopascal. Bakit? Kadalasan class na ginagamit natin sa solution is in kilopascal. Okay, convert nyo nga in the chat box. Tingnan ko, class. You have your calculator with you. Ngayon, kunin ko din yung calculator ko. Okay, 0 point. Julian Ray. Isa lang. Hindi ba? Thank you, Julian. Hindi ba, class? What is your answer? Josh, Ryan Pascual, Arnel, yeah. So, you know how to convert this. Am I right? So, 0.0088721. So, just divide that. Just multiply that. Because we all know that 1 megapascal equal to 1,000 kilopascal. Am I right? Tama ba si ma'am? So, yes. Okay, so nakuha na ba ng iba? Yes. Okay. So, that is now your pressure. So, lagyan lang ng boundary. Ayan. So, ganyan class ha. You have to kailangan natin ng ruler. Lalong-lalo na sa steam table. Kasi, you will read the values. So, pag mali ka na dito, class, error man yung answer mo. So, lalong-lalo na sa Rankine cycle. Okay? So, error class. Mamamali class yung solution natin. So, punta na tayo dito sa specific volume. Specific volume. Okay. Take note, we have the saturation liquid and the saturated vapor. Okay, mamaya i-discuss ko ano pinagkaiba nitong specific volume at the saturated liquid and the specific volume at the saturated vapor. Okay. Take note here, ang makikita niyo sa steam table is 10 to the third. But in reality, punta tayo dun sa number 5. Okay. This is 1 ohm 0001. This is times 10 to the negative 3. Take note, to the negative 3 yan class ha. Cubic meter per kilogram. Okay? Times 10 to the negative 3. Nakikita nyo sa steam table raised to the 3, but in reality that is times 10 to the negative 3. How about the saturated vapor? Okay? Sa 5, you have 5 point. Mali si ma'am. O, diba? So, take note, mali na yung values mo. So, we have 147, 120 times 10 to the negative 3 cubic meter per kilograms. Tingnan nyo class yung mga units natin na. So, temperature, degree Celsius, this is in megapascal. This is in cubic meter per kilograms. So, times. So, specific volume ha, palaging times 10 raised to the negative 3. So, error po yan sa steam table. Kaya tinuturo ko sa inyo. Okay ba? Maintindihan ba? Okay, let's proceed. Sige, kayo lang niya dito sa internal energy. Okay, baba lang na. Ito lang yan. So, we have the saturated liquid. The evaporation or the mixture. So, ituturo ko sa inyo mamaya. Yan ha. Okay, ang internal energy class is U. So we have UF, UFG, and saturated vapor. So UG. UG lang yung class. So what is the unit in the... Masyado ba akong mabilis class? Binibibilis lang naman, okay? So, maingay sa labas. Okay. So, take note that the internal energy from your steam table, what is now? Sige nga, now, if you have your steam table, what is the saturated liquid? You can chat in. Last, we have 20.97. Ang reference natin class is 5 degrees Celsius. That is the saturated temperature. So we have 20.97 kilojoule per kilogram mass. So tama ba si ma'am? So, makakahabol ba kayo, class? Siguradong may steam table kayo? Anyone? 40 students. My dear students. Naririnig ba si ma'am? Ayos po. Pero may steam table kayo? Oh, okay. So, we have the 5. So, 20.97. Paano ma'am kung nakuha? So, mag-iiba po kasi yung values natin when it comes to internet. So, steam table po talaga yung pinapagamit kasi, opo, this is the international steam table. Kaya nga po, required po talaga na may steam table tayo para parehas yung values natin. So, kasi iba-iba po class, lalo na sa mga libro. Mga iba-iba yung sa libro. I mean, at some point, nag-arrive at same answer, but not necessarily kasi para mas madali mag-check tayo, we use the steam table. Okay? So, international naman siya. So, kung wala talaga kayong steam table class, pwede naman ata. If matyaga naman yung classmate nyo, papicturan nyo. Okay? Para mas makita nyo. Kasi class, mag-iiba yung quality natin. Ang nag-compute na class. So, mag-iiba yung quality natin, class. So, ituturo ko yun mamaya. So, here, tapusin ko lang to. Okay, so, the saturated vapor, so this is 2361.3 and 2382.3. We have also the enthalpy. Okay, meron din tayo dun sa saturated liquid natin. Okay, ang enthalpy is H, so HF, HFG, HG. Okay, so this is the value, 20.98 kilojoule per kilogram din yung units natin dito, class. We have 2489.6 and 2510.6. And last but not the least, the entropy. So, ang entropy natin, class, is S. We have the SF, SFG, and the SG. So, ilan to, class? What is the unit in entropy? So, this is in... Yes? So, sa entropy, class, we have... Sa atin, 0.0761. So, the unit class of entropy is kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay? Kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. And the SFG is 8.9496 and 9.0257 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So this is just an example of the at table 1. Okay? Sa table 1 to class. Okay. So this is sa table 1 pag ginamit natin to. So this is a saturation temperatures. On table, punta tayo doon sa table 2. So magtatapos yung table 1 natin at page 7. So we have now the saturation pressure at page 8. So the same lang siya class, but dito ang given na sa atin is the pressure. Okay? Sa table 2 class, we have the saturation pressure. So dito class, ang given na sa atin. So on the first table, we have the temperature, while here in the table 2, the saturation pressure is the pressure na class yung nangunguna. Pag given kasi class yung pressure in megapascal. So, parehas lang yung sa iba. Pangalawa yung temperature niya in degrees Celsius. Okay? And also, table 2. And the table 3, ito class. Bakit gagamitin natin yung table 3? This is on page 8. While the table 3, the vapor, so pag kinategorize or nakuha natin the solution na that is a superheated vapor, punta tayo sa table 3. Okay. So makikita niyo dito sa table 3, we have different vapor, water vapor at low pressure. So 14, sa page 14. But, eto class, paano pag-read nito? Sa page 15. Punta kayo dun sa page 15. Okay, pakita ko lang sa mga ayan. So, this is the page 15. Malabo, baka madaming numbers. Ayan. So, this is the table 15, page 15. So, from your left side, right side, doon na po kayo, given sa atin yung pressure, doon po tayo yung guide natin papunta dito. Okay? Okay, class. So, in table 3, sa taas class, the bold one are, yes, alam mo, ito, 0.001, 6.98. So, makikita nyo to sa stipend. Papunta doon sa right side. So, this one, this is the pressure, and this one is the T-sat. So, tatlo tong column. So, iba't iba yan na class na pressure as well as the temperature, the pressure, the temperature. But on the right corner, makikita nyo pababa is the saturation temperature ulit. Pero, from 0 to 1,300 degrees Celsius. So, tuturuan ko kayo class kung paano pagkuha. So, dito yung specific volume natin, the internal energy, the enthalpy, and the entropy. So, ang given kadalasan dyan class, ang kinukuha is given sa atin yung pressure. And for example, yung temperature natin is 120 degree. So, at pressure, 0.01, pupunta tayo dun pababa. And yung 120 degree natin, yan. So, dalawang ruler ang gagamitin nyo. Actually, isa pa rin. So sige nga, kung nakuha nyo. So, 120, ito yung, kahit entropy lang, yung entropy. So, yung entropy natin at 120 degree is 9.6119. Nakuha ba to, class? Kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So, this is now the entropy at that point, 120 degrees Celsius. Given sa atin yung pressure na 0.01 megapascal. Okay? Nakuha ba, class? Mabilis ba si ma'am? So, this is in table 3, superheated vapor. Okay ba, class? Masyado bang madaming sinasabi si ma'am? So, we will work. So, if you have your best friend in if we have their best friend calculator, so in term 2, dagdagan nyo yung best friend nyo ang system table na rin. Okay? Naintindihan ba, class? So, system table, kasama na yan. And the table 4, kadalasan, is yung mahaba-haba to kasi class superheated vapor yung table 3. Yan. Hanggang page. Excuse me. Dami-dami to, class. So, table 3 hanggang page, 100 plus na sila. Ayan. Page 100. Yeah, 103. So, hanggang page 103 to, class. While on the table 4, that is liquid. So, pag sinabi yung subcooled liquid, subcooled liquid, compressed liquid. So, parehas din yung orientation. It's just that dito na sa kabila. Kung kanina, yung temperature nasa right, dito nasa left side. Yung saturation temperature natin 0 to 380. So, ang interval dito is 20 degrees Celsius. And parehas lang sa taas, you have the P, the pressure, and the Tsat. So, for example, on page 105, we have 15 and 342.24. So, yung temperature natin at 0. Ano ba? Yan. Yung specific volume natin, which is 0.9928 times 10 to the negative 3 cubic meter per kilogram mass. And we have the internal energy. We have 0.15 kilojoule per kilogram. Ayan. Yung enthalpy natin, we have 15.05 and the entropy 0.00. So, maduduling ka, class, 0.4. The same kilojoule per kilogram. This is kilojoule per kilogram mass Kelvin. Okay? So, yan, class, yun sa table 4. But, when it comes to solution, kadalasan kino-compute natin to using the pump. The work of the pump. Okay? So, pwede naman. And the table 5 is the critical region. Table 5. That is the critical region. So, parehas din yung orientation. So, same lang, class, but wala ditong specific volume. So, ang lang makikita mo is saturation temperature, the pressure, the internal energy, the enthalpy, and the entropy. Take note of this: temperature, pressure, internal energy, enthalpy, and the entropy. So, dito na, ang binigay sa'yo is yung specific volume natin, tsaka yung saturation temperature niya. Okay, so critical yun. So, in table 6, hindi naman to masyadong ginagamit, pero we have this table 6 solid liquid saturation vapor, the dynamic viscosity, the kinematic viscosity, the thermal conductivity, and the conversion factors that is needed here. So, madaming conversion factor dito kasi we have the specific volume, the pressure, the energy, and the specific energy. And last but not the least, on the class, sa pinakahulihan ng iyong, how do you call this? Sa hulihan ng iyong steam table, we have the boiler. So, pag binuka mo to class, isa itong banig. So, tuturuan ko rin ngayon yan kung paano kumuha dito sa boiler. Ayan. So, 3 pa lang yan kasa. So, madami-dami to. So, that is a Mollier chart. Okay. So, sa pagkuha ng Mollier chart, meron din tayong exercise. Okay. So, that is for now, the steam table. May question ba, class? So, prefer ni ma'am if you have your own steam table or this thermodynamics too. Okay. Mabuti sa pag may exam yung block A, pwede ka humiram. Pag face-to-face, pwede ka muna manghiram sa kabilang block. Okay. So, since ngayon is you are studying at home, so, depende. Okay? So, balikan natin yung properties. Okay? So, dito na tayo, class. So, the properties of steam, class. So, sabi ko nga kanina, ano nga ba yung saturation temperature? So, yung saturation temperature in class is the temperature at which liquid starts to boil or the temperature at which vapors begin to condense. So, take note, yung saturation temperature ng given substance depend upon its existing pressure. Okay. So, iba-iba class. Depende yan sa ating given properties. Okay. And also, it is directly proportional to the pressure. So, it increases as the pressure is increased and decreases as the pressure is decreased. So, for example, yung water natin boils at 100 degrees Celsius at the atmospheric condition. We all know that 1 atmospheric pressure is how many? What is the equivalent of 1 atmospheric pressure in kilopascal? That is 101.325 kilopascal. Okay. Thank you, Adeline. Okay. The next one is the water boils at 179 at a pressure of 1,000 kilopascal. So, this is the, makukuha din naman to sa steam table, class. Okay. And the steam condenses at 311.06 degrees Celsius at 10 megapascal. And letter D is steam condenses at 39 degrees at 0.07 megapascal. So, sa saturation temperature, class, walang problema yan kasi ano yung nakikita nyo sa steam table, yun na yan. Okay, directly proportion. So, punta tayo kay subcold liquid. So, si subcold liquid, class, this is one which has a temperature lower than the saturation temperature corresponding to the existing pressure. So, what is the example for this? Okay. So, punta tayo sa steam table natin. So, liquid water at 60 degrees Celsius. Sige nga, kung marunong na kayo magbasa. So, yung liquid water natin at 60 degrees Celsius and 101,325. So, palagi yan when we have the temperature, dapat may corresponding pressure ka or existing pressure. Is this a subcold? Is a subcold liquid? Why? Sige nga. Sige. Why? Sige. So, punta kayo sa steam table nyo. Sige nga. Open your steam table. Open your steam table. Punta kayo doon sa table 1. So, 60. What is 60? So, tingnan nyo, class. Temperature lower than the saturation temperature. Okay, class. Sige nga, punta kayo doon. I mean, sa saturation pressure. Table 2, class. Table 2. Table 2. Punta kayo doon sa, pag sinabing corresponding, existing pressure. So, punta na tayo doon sa existing pressure. The 101.325. Sige nga, mahahanap nyo kaya yung 101.325 on saturation pressure. Sige nga. Dito, class, punta kayo dito sa page 9. Bakit page 9? Sige nga, sa page 9, class. Nakuhain na.
Ito po, ma'am, 0.100.
Yes. Because yes. So, take note, the 0.100, i-zoom ko lang ha. So, dito tayo sa pinaka. So, makikita nyo, class, dyan, sa pressure natin, you have 0.100 and ang given sa atin is 101.325. Convert it into megapascal, that is 0.1. Kanya yung class. But the next value in the steam table is 0.105. Okay. Ibig sabihin, kung ipapasolve ko to, you need to interpolate. So, you need to find the values between those. Kasi ang makikita mo lang sa taas is temperature niya is, ano yung temperature niya? Yung 0.100 line.
99.63 po.
Okay, this is correct. 99.63. And yung 0.105 niya?
101 po.
101. Okay. So, take note, hindi ko naman pinapahanap yung temperature at this point. So, tuturuan ko naman kayo, class, mag-interpolate. Okay, in the next lessons. But since in our topic, pinapahanap lang sa atin yung kung subcold ba siya. Okay. So, take note, kahit hindi mo natin interpolate, alam naman natin that at that certain pressure, yung saturation pressure natin is 0.01325 megapascal. Sa steam table natin, yung temperature niya nag-range sa 99 to 101 degrees Celsius. Bakit siya kinonsidered na subcold? Kasi, sabi niya dito, one which has a temperature lower than the saturation temperature. So, this is the Tsat of the existing pressure of the P given. So, mas mataas siya. Tama ba ako? Mas mababa Tama ba, class? Di ba mas mababa yung 60 kaysa sa 100? So, this is subcold liquid. So, tama to, class. Mas mababa yung temperature na given sa atin kaysa sa saturation temperature. Di ba? Yung 60 degree natin, mas mababa kaysa sa 99 to 101 degrees Celsius. Tama ba? Tama ba, class? Naintindihan na, subcold siya. Kasi yung given, the temperature given na 60, is mas mababa siya sa saturation temperature na corresponding sa existing pressure. Okay? Naintindihan? Siyempre, hindi pa. Okay. Oo, basahin niyo to, class. One which has a temperature lower than the saturation temperature corresponding to the existing pressure. So, yung saturation pressure ng existing pressure mo, so punta ka dun sa pressure mo, ni 101.325 kasi ito yung given na pressure. Kasi ang tanong kung subcold liquid ba siya. Here, but in the steam table, nakita nyo na yung saturation temperature natin of the given pressure is 99 to 101 kasi hindi pa natin interpolate. So, this is still subcold. Why? Because the given pressure, 60 degree, okay, temperature lower than the saturation temperature. So, 60 is lower than the given saturation temperature with corresponding to the existing pressure. Okay. Okay, so next. Balikan nyo na lang, class. Naka-record naman. I-record nyo. Okay, next class is the compressed liquid. Kung kanina, we are talking about pressure, temperature. So, kinumpara natin yung given sa atin. Kung mas mataas yung given, lower sa saturation temperature niya, subcold siya. While sa compressed liquid naman, class, tan natin yung color para tingnan. Okay. Dito naman, class, sa compressed liquid is one which has a pressure higher than the saturation pressure corresponding to the existing temperature. Diba? Malulula na ka mo. Kung sa subcold, class, temperature lower than the saturation temperature corresponding to existing pressure. Ito naman, class, baliktaran. Pag yung pressure mo daw higher than the saturation pressure corresponding to existing temperature, so, compressed liquid siya. So, paano natin siya makukuha? So, punta muna tayo sa, okay, for example, yung liquid water natin is at 110 kilopascal and 100 degree Celsius, a compressed liquid. So, tanong yun. Excuse me. Okay. So, pag tinanong kang compressed liquid, punta muna ikaw sa existing temperature. What is the existing temperature? 100 degrees Celsius. So, pag temperature plus, punta ka sa table 1. Table 1. Tingnan mo yung 100 degrees Celsius. Sige nga. Yung iba naman. Okay, sa table 1, page 3. Sige nga, what is the value of 100 degrees Celsius? Ano yung saturation pressure niya? Pakikita mo to sa steam table. Anyone? You can chat. Okay, Josh Ryan. Sige, that is correct. So, this is 0.101325. 10135 lang. 35. 10135 megapascal. So this is correct. So this is now your saturation temperature. I mean saturation pressure. So sabi dito, paano mo daw malalaman? So ang given sa atin, the pressure given is higher. Ay, mas mali pala to. Bakit hindi niyo ako sinaway? Ito, mali to. Sa taas. This is, and lower. Okay. So, dito class, pressure given higher than the saturation temperature. So, tingnan nga natin. The 110 kilopascal is greater than 101.35 kilopascal. Is this correct? Tama ba? Ang given class sa problem is 110. This one. Ma'am, bakit na iba? Convert this, the megapascal, into kilopascal. Times mo by 1,000. So, this is kilopascal. So, at tawag dito class sa problem na to, this one, compressed liquid siya. Okay, kasi yung given pressure natin is higher than the saturation pressure corresponding to the existing pressure. I mean temperature. Okay? Ayan. So, dito sa unahan, sa sub-goal, yung T temperature natin na given is lower than the saturation. Okay? So, dito, yung given na. Okay? Naintindihan ba? Naintindihan ba, class? Ayan o. Tandaan nyo yung class o. Ng mga ginagawa kong notation. We have subcode. Ganyan yung formula. Sa compressed, ito. Okay. Ayan. So, upload ko naman class yung recording. So, next is the saturated liquid. Okay. Punta na tayo sa saturated liquid. Okay. Ang saturated liquid daw class is liquid at the saturations. Pwede siyang saturation temperature or saturation pressure, which has a temperature equal to the boiling point corresponding to the existing pressure. So, pure liquid siya, it has no vapor content. So, for example, so liquid at, ayan, excuse me. So, halimbawa, yung example natin para red, para mas maganda. Yung liquid water natin at 233.9 and 3 megapascal. So, punta tayo dun sa steam table, table 2. Mas madali tingnan yung 3 megapascal. Tingnan nyo yung 3 megapascal sa table 2. Okay? Ayan, 3. Point, ayan, 3 megapascal. So, page 12. Page 12. Sa 3 megapascal. So, makikita niyo yung Psat niya is equal to 233.9 degrees Celsius. So, ang tawag na doon kasi is nag-fall siya under the category of saturated liquid. So, pure liquid siya. Pure liquid. Okay? So, mas maiintindihan niyo ito mamaya pag diniscuss ko na sa inyo yung PV and the TS diagram. Okay? So, punta na tayo. So, kung tapos na tayo sa liquids, balikan ko lang. Ayan, yung saturation temperature natin. the subcold. Yung temperature given natin is lower than or less than the saturation temperature corresponding to existing pressure. Sa compressed liquid naman natin, class, the given pressure is greater than or higher than the saturation pressure corresponding to the existing temperature. And the saturated liquid, kung alam natin, this is a pure liquid, kung anong nasa skin table automatically. Pag parehas yun sa given na problem, ito class, liquid water. So, it falls under the saturated liquid. Okay? So, next class is now the punta na tayo sa vapor. Ano sa vapor class? So, this is a gaseous phase. Okay. That is in contact with the liquid. Wait lang, as dito yung okay, so the vapor, the gaseous phase that is in contact with liquid phase. Okay? So, ano-ano nga ba ang sa vapor? We have the saturated vapor. If we have the saturated liquid, we also have the saturated vapor. So, ang saturated vapor class is the vapor at the saturation conditions. This is 100% vapor. So, kung kanina we have the saturated liquid na 100 pure liquid siya, no vapor content, we have also the saturated vapor wherein 100% vapor siya, no liquid or moisture content. Okay? Wala yun, class. So, saturated vapor siya. For example, so, makikita niyo din to class sa vapor. So, ituturo ko naman ito. So, pag eksakto yung saturated vapor, you will use now the kadalasan class ang saturated vapor, ang gagamitin nyo na is yung sa column ng specific volume at Vg, the saturated vapor sa internal energy, and yung internal energy, the enthalpy at the saturated vapor, and sa entropy at the saturated vapor. Yan yung gagamitin mo ng mga values. While compared dito sa saturated liquid, ang gagamitin nyo class is, gagamitin natin doon is, saturated liquid, we have 10 to the negative 3 Vf, the internal energy, the Uf, the Hf, and the entropy, or the saturated liquid, the given entropy. So, tingnan yung pinagkaiba, saturated liquid, the F, and dito saturated vapor, ang gagamitin na natin is the G. Okay. So, sa ngayon, wala pang problema. Kasi wala pa naman tayong sinusolve. So, punta din tayo sa superheated vapor. Superheated vapor. So, anong andito sa superheated vapor class? So, that is the vapor having a temperature higher than the saturation. So, balikan nyo yung class yun sa taas, ha? Diba, yung subcold, lower temperature than the saturation temperature. So, pag mas mataas class, superheated yun. Okay? So, may pinagkaiba siya. Corresponding to the existing pressure. So, kung kanina, excuse me class. Okay? So, we have here kung kanina we have here, temperature na given sa atin daw is higher than the saturation temperature at a given pressure. Ayan. So, for example, punta tayo doon. Example. Okay. Example natin is steam at 300 degrees Celsius and 5 megapascal, excuse me. So, hanapin natin, ang given sa atin, the given temperature sa atin is 300 degrees Celsius. So, tingnan natin if that is greater than. So, hahanapin natin yung saturation temperature natin at 5 megapascal. Tingnan nyo nga sa steam table. 5 megapascal. Pupunta tayo sa table 2. Punta kayo sa table 2. Table 2, page 12. Yeah. What is the saturation temperature? Anyone? Ayun. Okay, tama. We have 263.99 degrees Celsius. So, is 300 degrees Celsius greater than 263.99?
Yes po.
So, yes. So, this is a yes. So, automatically, nagpo-fall siya sa superheated vapor. Ngayon, class. Okay? So, nagpo-fall po siya sa superheated vapor. Andito na ba yung mga black days? Excuse me. Wala pa. Okay. So, that is now the superheated vapor. So, punta na tayo dito sa another terminology. Okay, class. Excuse me. May tinatawag tayo, class, na degrees of superheat. Or, ganito siya yung symbol natin. And we have also the degree of subcold. But, dito muna tayo sa degree of superheat. So, this is the difference between the actual temperature of superheated vapor and excuse me, superheated vapor. Bakit na? Tama. Superheated vapor and so mahina lang magsulat si ma'am. Saturation temperature for the existing pressure. So, question natin, class, is, excuse me. Okay. So, the degree of superheat is just equal to the actual temperature, superheated temperature, minus the Tsat, or the saturation temperature, at a given pressure. Okay. So, what is the example for this? Okay. So, halimbawa, if we were try to determine the degree of superheat, determine the degrees of superheat of superheated vapor. Ayan. Wait. Determine the degree of superheat of superheated steam. Mali pa. At 200 degrees Celsius and 101.325 kilopascal. Okay. So, punta muna tayo dun sa 101.325. So, assuming sa steam table natin, kasi hindi pa natin in-interpolate yun, kung babalikan nyo, yung PSAT natin at 101.325 kilopascal, or pupunta kayo doon sa 0.101325 MPa. Diba ang values nun is 99 to 110 or 101. Yan. So, pag interpolate mo siya, automatically 100 degrees Celsius. Okay? Assumption lang to. Okay? So, paano natin makukuha yung degree of superheat? So, the degree of superheat, para ipakita ko lang sa inyo. We have the actual superheated. This is the actual, 200 degrees Celsius minus yung sa saturation temperature natin, which is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. So, we have now degree of superheat, which is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. So, this is now the degree of superheat. Okay? Degrees of superheat. Ayan. What about the degree of... Malinaw ba ito, class? Mag-minus ka lang na yan. Kung ano yung given sa'yo sa problem. The actual superheated temperature minus the PSAT. Okay? So, minus mo lang siya. How about the degree of subcold? Degrees subcold. Okay? Ayan. So, we have if we have the degree of superheat, we have also the degrees subcold. Okay? Subcold. Kung kanina SH, degree SH, we have degree SP. Okay. This is also the difference, Parasian class difference, between the saturation temperature of the given pressure. Ayan. Given pressure the saturation temperature of the given pressure, and the actual subcold liquid temperature. Okay. So, paano natin mahahanap yung degrees of subcold? So, this is the general equation. I mean, simple equation. Degree of subcold is just equal to the Tsat at a given, the pressure given, minus the actual liquid temperature. Ayan ka. So, the degree of superheat, so, hanapin daw natin yung, for example, we determine the degrees subcold of liquid water at 90 degrees. Given pa rin sa atin yung pressure na 101.325 kilopascal. So, sabi ko nga, yung kanina sa steam table natin, yung saturated temperature natin at 101.325 kilopascal or in MPa, 0.01 is equal to 100 degrees. So, finding the degree subcold, given sa atin, Tsat is 100 degrees Celsius minus. Ano yung given sa atin? Actual That is 90.
90 po.
Yes.
90
So, we
degrees
have
Celsius.
now 10 degrees Celsius. So, madali lang class. You just need to find the difference in finding the degree of superheat and as well as the degrees of cold. Okay. So, that is the degrees of cold. How about now? Now, we move on to the wet vapor. So, degrees of cold. So, we have now the wet vapor. Wet vapor. So, what is the wet vapor? So, this is a combination. Okay, so wet vapor naman class, that is a combination. This is a combination of saturated, saturated vapor and saturated liquid. Yan, combination na siya class. So, paano natin siya makukuha yung wet vapor? So, ituro ko mamaya yung TS diagram. Okay? The TS diagram. So, later, I will, sa isahan yun, sa TS diagram, sa PV diagram, makikita nyo yung lahat ng pinagsasabi mo. Okay? So, first, we have the quality. So, we should be familiar with this. The quality X. Okay. So, this is the quality. This is the quality of wet vapor or wet steam that is equal to the percent by weight, and that is saturated vapor. So, meron din tayong, if we have the quality, we have also the percent moisture. Okay? Quality, we have the percent moisture or yung tinatawag nating Y. Okay? Ang percent moisture class, that is equal to the percent by weight that is saturated liquid. Kung kanina vapor, and now we have the percent moisture, the moisture of wet vapor. Sulat ko lang para mas maintindihan nyo class. Wet vapor is the percent. Sasabihan niyo yung Blackbeak if they have time, they can log in. Weight that is saturated liquid. Okay. So that is the saturated liquid. Okay. So how do we compute? We have this for a saturated liquid. So this is para mas maintindihan niya. For a saturated liquid plus, yung Y natin is 100%. Yung quality natin is 0%. For a saturated vapor, yung quality natin is 100% and yung percent moisture natin is 0%. Okay? Turo lang yun, ma'am. Okay? So, in the steam table, so we have this, the X and the Y. Okay? Matuturo ko naman yan, guys. So, basic terminologies muna tayo. We have also the latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. So, ito na class yung makikita nyo sa steam table natin. This is the amount heat added. Okay, this is amount of heat added. So, you have to, actually, sa steam table, mahahanap mo na to. Added to or removed from the system. And remove from the system or the substance in order to convert it. Kasi class, ito yung kadalasang the HFD, FG. So, ito class yung kadalasan sino-compute or nilalagay natin sa Rankine cycle in computing for the work of the compressors, condensers. I mean, so, importante to class. So, convert it, in order to convert it, and listen natin ni ma'am, it from saturated liquid or saturated vapor to vice versa lang to kasi to saturated vapor or liquid. Ayan. With a temperature remaining constant. Right? So, pwede yung class. So, this is also inversely proportional. So, how do we find the HFG or the enthalpy? Or tinatawag natin siyang latent heat of vaporization. So, for example, punta kayo dun sa steam table natin. So, determine the latent heat. Okay. The latent heat of vaporization of water at, for example, 300 degrees Celsius. So, punta kayo dun sa table 1. Sige nga, punta sa table 1. Find the in 300 degrees Celsius. Okay. Table 1, page ano ba? Page 7. What is the saturation? The latent heat of evaporation. I mean, the latent heat of vaporization. Okay, si Josh Ryan lang, estudyante ko. Sino pa? Yung iba? So, in table 7, I mean table 1, okay, Bonto, knowledge, sino pa? So, 300. Ayun. Punta kayo doon in your upper left. So, enthalpy, the HFG. So, yung latent of vaporization natin is...
Ito po, ma'am, na 140.
Yes, that is correct. So, this is 1404.9 kilojoule per kilogram. So, that is now the latent heat of vaporization. Okay. So, madami kayong i-explore sa ating steam table. Okay, class. So, that is now the latent heat of vaporization of water at 300 degrees Celsius. So, that is HFG or the enthalpy at that latent heat of vaporization. That is 1,404.9 kilojoule per kilogram. Okay? So, may question ba yung quality class? Quality and percent moisture. So, tuturo ko yun pagkuhanan. Okay. So, may tinatawag din tayo class na sensible heat and the latent heat and the critical point. So, critical point muna tayo. Okay, this is the critical point. Ano class sa critical point? So, it represents the highest. Okay. The highest pressure and highest temperature at which liquid and vapor can coexist in equilibrium. Ayan. So, unknown pa rin siya kung the state of water at critical condition, whether it is saturated liquid or saturated vapor, is unknown. Hence, the latent heat of vaporization of water at this condition is either zero or undefined. It's a critical point. So, we have the sensible heat. Ayan. Ang sensible heat class, that is the heat that causes changes in temperature without a change in phase, while the latent heat, so yung heat natin can cause change in phase without a change in temperature. So, bakit yun ito sinasabi? So, from subcold liquid, nagkakaroon tayo ng saturated. So, punta na tayo sa the PV and the TS plane for water. Kasi lang ni ma'am yung para mas tindihan natin. So, this is the PV and the TS diagram, or the planes for water. Okay. So, dun muna tayo sa PV. It's a solution class. This is the pressure, and yung V natin is the specific volume. Okay? Pero kadalasan volume siya. So, ang drawing nito class, sa ganito, papunta pataas, and paganyan. Okay. So, this is the the PV diagram. So, eto class, just highlight. So, this part is the yellow part is the saturated liquid line. The yellow is the saturated liquid line. Ayan. Yung liquid line yan, class. Ayan. Liquid line yan. And also, yung ditong part, sa kabila, tawag naman dito, class, is itong highlight natin, tawag dito is the saturated vapor line. Yan na. Para mas maintindihan nyo. Excuse me. Vapor line. Yeah. So this is a PV diagram, ha. So this is at the top. This is in a point, tawag dyan is the supercritical. So dito sa taas, supercritical. Pero ito yung tinatawag natin critical region. And also, this sa loob, class, itong sa loob ng, para mas, ito na lang. So, ito class sa loob nito, the enclosure, itong sa loob, yan, wet region yung class. Yan. Yan sa loob. Okay. That is the wet region. So, dyan mo makikita si quality and the percent moisture natin. So, ito class na sa labas. That is now your, ito class, lighter, dapat lighter blue. Ayan. So, itong sa labas class, ay, mali. Ayan. So, dito class, this is the subcold liquid. Ayan. Mas madali. Subcold liquid siya. I hope everyone may or compressed liquid. So I hope everyone my notebook sa termo 2. Okay? So that is subcode. While here naman class, so pag nagamay mo to class na PV and TS, kasi every time na may klase tayo, this is now ito class naman sa labas ng linya, the red one. Tawag nito is the superheated line or the superheated region. Superheated, ayan, line region. Ayan. So, balikan natin. The blue one here. Lagyan ng pointer. Okay. So, here class, this is the subcode. Ito, subcode siya. The yellow line, that is the saturated liquid line. So, hanapin natin yan. And the yellow, the green, that is the saturated vapor line. And within that diagram, or sa loob niyan, is called the wet region, wherein dyan mo mahanap si quality natin, and the quality and the percent moisture. So, andito yun yan kadalasan class. And the critical region, that is where the saturated liquid line, the yellow line here, or the green line, or the saturated vapor line meets. Sa pinakatuktok, that is now your critical region. Okay? And here, the area or the region outside the, excuse me, the saturated vapor line is the superheated line region. So this is the PV diagram. Okay? It is just the same as also as the TS. Ay, wait lang. So, TS diagram naman tayo. So, we have the TS diagram. Ibad ba class? Wait. We have also the TS diagram. So, in TS diagram class, ano man si ma'am? Tibang? Ayusin na lang ni ma'am. Okay. So, sa TS diagram naman class, okay. So, dapat alam niyo to class. Ha? Pag sa TS diagram natin, kasi parehas lang yan class. So, this is now the TS diagram. Kung sa PV, matulis, dito naman class. Ano siya? Ayan. Okay. So, this is the TS diagram. Ang T class is the temperature, yung S natin is the entropy. So, ulitin ko lang. Itong enclosure sa loob is the wet region. And highlight ko lang ano yung ginamit natin dun sa wet region. Ito. So, itong mali. Wait. Ito muna sa labas. This is the superheated. So, kung may line man siya dyan, kasi dito yung superheated natin. This is the critical region. So, yung pinakamataas class. This is the critical point. Yan. Critical point. So, that is the critical point. And we also have this is the saturated vapor line here, the gilid class. And dito sa kabila, this is the saturated liquid line. And yung sa gitna is wet region. Ayan, dito. Ayan. This is the wet region. So, yun yung quality natin and the percent moisture. And also yung subcold natin. Ayan, this is the subcold region. Ayan. Okay, so this is the TS diagram. Bakit pinapakita to ni ma'am? Because during exam, kailangan nyo palagi mag-draw ng TS and PV diagram. Okay, so how do we get the quality? Excuse me. Okay, class. So, the quality of a given, excuse me. Class, may class ba yung kay Sir Balyares? Next block? Wala naman. Class? Wala naman. Okay, so I'll continue. So, this is the TS diagram, class. So, this is the TS. Aten AM pa naman. Sige. Sulitin na ni ma'am kasi andito na kayo. So, this is the PV. So, bakit kailangan yung malaman? Kasi, during exam, pinapadraw po itong ma'am palagi. Draw the schematic diagram of the Rankine cycle, the PV, and the TS diagram. So, dapat alam nyo yun, class. The region, okay? The TS diagram. Okay. So, punta na tayo doon sa properties para may computation part na tayo. Okay? Okay, wait. Okay? So, balik tayo dito. Ayan. TS diagram. So, sa properties na class, doon na tayo sa mismong loob ng excuse me. So, wet steam na tayo class. So, paano natin mako-compute yung quality and the percent? Sabi ko nga, yung F natin, that is the sub-properties that represents the saturated liquid. And yung G natin, that is the properties wherein it represents the saturated vapor. And the FG, that is the change by evaporation. Ayan. And yung specific volume natin. Specific volume natin sa in cubic meter per kilogram. Sa subject ko ngayon, mahigpit ako sa units. We have also the specific entropy. This is in kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. And yung U natin is the specific internal energy. Ayan. Internal energy wherein it is equal to the kilojoule per kilogram. Okay. So, paano natin makukuha yung properties? Okay? From the figure above, so okay, gagawa muna si ma'am ng another figure para mas makita nyo kung saan natin makukuha yung mga saturated vapor lines natin. Okay? So, using the PV diagram natin are ayan. So, dalian lang. Maliit lang. Okay. Ayan. So, this is the PV diagram. Yung PV diagram natin, class, excuse me. I-ipad ko lang yung sulat. So, for example, given sa atin yung quality. So, pag sinabing quality, that is X. And ang matitira niya yan is Y. That is the percent. Okay? Yung X natin is the quality. And yung Y natin is the percent moisture. Okay. From the figure above, okay, for example, yung specific. So, this is V. So, at a certain point from the figure tayo sa figure tayo mag-base class. Okay, makikita nyo class here. Ayan. Masyado palang malapit. From this point, nakikita nyo yan, to this point, equivalent siya sa certain specific volume. Diba nat? Kasi yun yung hahanapin natin dito at a given quality. So, para mahanap natin yan, the specific volume. So, paano natin mahanap yung specific volume of a wet mixture? So, paano natin yan makukuha, class? Paano natin makukuha? Based from the figure, class, yung specific volume natin. Ito class, yung sinasabi ko. Specific volume natin dito. That is the specific volume of its saturated liquid content. Ayan. Plus the specific volume of its saturated vapor content. Ayan. So, from the figure, class, paano mo malalaman na ang given sa atin is the quality and that? Okay? So, para mas maintindihan, from the figure, we can now use the general formula. You know? So, we have now the specific volume of that point, certain point from here to here. Okay, dito yan yung specific volume natin. So, equal naman siya, class, yung percent moisture natin times the specific volume at the saturated liquid content plus yung quality natin, wherein it is the specific volume at its saturated vapor. Okay, para makuha natin yun sa task, class, this is the formula. Okay, so to check, we all know that the percent, di ba ang unit niya? Yung percent moisture, class, is kilogram of the liquid over the kilogram of the mixture. And we all know that the specific volume is cubic meter per kilogram mass of the liquid. So, kakancel to na liquid natin. So, matitira is cubic meter per kilogram mass of the mixture. Okay? Same as with the quality X in the vapor. Pero vapor na dito. Ayan. Over the kilogram of the mixture times the cubic meter times kilogram of the vapor. Maka-cancel to. Matitira sa atin is cubic meter per kilogram. Okay. So, yun na yung unit natin. So, from sa task, class, so, in considering this, we all know, class, na for a saturated liquid, di ba, class? Saturated liquid. So, balikan nyo sa taas. Excuse me. Yung saturated liquid natin, ilan? Yung X natin is 0%, pero si Y natin 100%. For a saturated vapor, alam naman natin na yung Y natin yung 0, and yung X natin is 100%, yung quality. So, considering that, for a wet vapor, so, 0, ang X natin, 100, as well as yung greater than or less than by 100. So, but we all know that X plus Y is equal to 100%. Diba, class? Pag sa wet vapor. And X plus Y is equal to 1 pag sa decimal. Okay. Percent. Okay. So, pwede yun, class. Kasi sa wet vapor tayo. Tinutukoy ko dito. Balik tayo dito. So, we all know that the specific volume, the percent moisture times the saturated, specific volume at saturated liquid plus the quality times the specific volume at saturated vapor. Ito yung equation natin. Bakit kailangan ko i-derive? Kasi kadalasan binibigay sa problem is the X or yung quality natin. Quality. Okay. So, from here also, we also know that X plus Y is equal to 1. So, in decimal form tayo. And yung Y natin is 1 minus X. Am I right? Substitute mo to sa equation 1. Okay. So, 2 to 1. We have now the specific volume is equal to 1 minus X specific volume at saturated liquid times the quality times the saturated vapor. And gawin natin to. So, we have specific volume minus X VF plus X VG. So, arranging this class, we have specific volume at saturated liquid minus X V. So, we have now the specific volume equal to the saturated liquid, specific volume plus X times the quantity 1. Tama ba si ma'am? Specific volume minus specific volume at saturated vapor minus specific volume at the saturated liquid. So, bakit dinerive to ni ma'am? Kasi nga sabi ko, problems involving in thermodynamics to quality kadalasan yung binibigay. Pero dapat alam niyo pa rin to, class. You should know this because malay mo, bigay ni ma'am is in percent. Okay? So, we have now here equation. We have this equation now. So, but we all know, class, that the latent heat, take note. Yung mga latent heat natin of vaporization. So, as well as the specific volume, class, the specific volume at the change of evaporation, that is also equal to this one. The specific volume at the saturated vapor minus specific volume at saturated liquid. So, you can substitute this now. Here, the equation 3. Okay? So, we have now the specific volume at that point, at certain point, given sa atin doon, we have now the specific volume at saturated liquid plus the quality times the specific volume during the change of evaporation. So, this is now your equation. Ayan. So, kaya kadalasan, mas madali to, class, kasi hindi ka na mag-minus. Given naman to sa steam table. I mean, hindi siya given, but more likely, ito yung gagamitin mo. You need to find the difference between these two. Kasi ito yung palaging nasa steam table natin. Okay? Similar din yung class. If we have now the specific volume, wala pa tayong numbers class, hindi derive pa lang tayo ng formula. The specific volume, we have also sa enthalpy, ganun din, class. You have the HF plus the quality X times the HFG. And also sa paghanap at a certain point. The entropy, we have the entropy at the saturated liquid plus the quality times the SFG. as well as the internal energy at certain point. We have the internal energy at saturated vapor, liquid, plus the quality times the internal energy during the change of evaporation. Okay? So, naiintindihan ba? So, this is the basic formula pag given sa atin yung sa wet region. Okay? Naiintindihan ba si ma'am? This is a yes or a no? Masyado na bang mahaba, class? Okay. So, para ma-practice tayo, I will teach you on how to interpolate first today. Interpolate first or find the quality. Okay. So, I think we need to interpolate first. Okay? Excuse me. Okay. Isa-isa lang muna yung hanapin natin. Okay, example. Okay. Para mas may matutunan kayo today. Isa lang muna hanapin. What is the enthalpy nyo? Enthalpy of steam at 1.50 megapascal and 254 degrees Celsius. So what is the solution? So what you're gonna do is need to for example, this one. So, punta muna tayo dun sa saturation pressure. Okay, punta tayo dun sa 1.5 megapascal. Table, this is 1.5 megapascal. So, punta ka dun sa table 2, page 11. Okay. Since 1.5 megapascal is the pressure given, ang Tsat niya, saturation temperature niya is what? What is the saturation temperature niya? Anyone? Class? Ano yung saturation temperature niya? Dun sa steam table. Class? Knock. What is the... Okay, so that is 198.32 degrees Celsius. So, balikan nyo yung mga concepts natin. Yan, very good. So, madami-dami na mag-answer. So, balikan nyo yung ano natin. So, the given, actually, class, the temperature given is, sa atin is 254 degrees Celsius. Okay. When the temperature given is higher than the saturation temperature at the given pressure, ano siya? Therefore, ano siya, class? Balikan nyo doon sa pinakauna kong lesson. Pag ganito, class, yung temperature given natin, ano to? Given saturation temperature, ano siya, class? Yung 254 degrees Celsius mas malaki sa 198.32 degrees Celsius. Therefore, this is ano, class? This is
superheated po.
Yes, thank you. This is now a superheated vapor. Yan. Diyan mo makaklasify kung anong table ka pupunta. Okay. After that class, we will go into the pag sinabing superheated na siya, punta ka sa table number 3. Kasi superheated vapor na siya. 3. Ayan, naririnig nyo yung pag, ano ni ma'am? Ayan. Punta ka sa table 3, hanapin mo siya sa pinakataas. Pinakataas ka muna. Ayan. Anong page? Si 1.5. Sige nga. Kung marunong na kayo. Anong page? Sa table 3. Table 3, vapor. Anong page siya? Page 42. Ayan o. Nakuha niyo na, class? Mabilis ba si ma'am? Okay. Superheated siya. Di pupunta ka sa table 3. Okay. After that, enthalpy lang yung pinapahanap ko, class, ha? Hindi nga lahat. Okay. So, 1.5. Class, nakakahabol ba kayo sa table 3? Class, table 3. Ayun, class, 1.5 sa taas. Nakakahabol. Okay. Yes daw. Sige. Basta mag-answer. Okay. Yan. Sa page 3, table 3, page 42, diba? Nakikita nyo sa left side nyo yung mga different saturation temperature. Ang gagawin natin, class, is, nakikita nyo lang sa, diba? Saturation temperature. Since given sa atin is 254. 254. Ano, class, saan siya nakabilong? Kabilong siya sa 250 and 260. Okay, yan na. Celsius. Punta ka doon sa ruler mo, punta ka sa letter H. Ayan, ha. Pupunta ka doon sa 1.5 sa letter H. Kasi, napanap sa atin is the enthalpy of the steam. Okay? Punta. Naka-follow ba si ma'am? What is the value? What is the value there, class? So, we have 2923.3 kilojoule per kilogram. And sa 260 naman, class, at 1.5 megapascal. Okay? Okay. 2923.3. Doon naman, class, sa 260. 2946. Yes. Marunong na magbasa ng steam table, mga bata. Okay. 2946.7 kilojoule per kilogram. Okay. So, alam nyo na. So, how do we interpolate? Kasi ito yung hinahanap natin, the H at 254 degrees Celsius. Yun yung hindi natin. So, how do we interpolate? Okay? In interpolation class, we'll just, excuse me. So, we have this, excuse me. Excuse me, class. We have A, B, C, and Y. This is X and Z. Kadalasan, ang hindi natin alam is yung X. Okay? How do we interpolate? B minus A, C minus A, X minus Y, and Z minus. So here, B minus A, C minus A is equal to also to X minus Y and Z minus Y. This is the interpolation. Okay. In the problem, paano nyo ma-interpolate yun na 250 natin? We'll use different color. Okay? So, 254 minus 250 kasi siya yung B. This is letter B. This is A, B, C. This is X, Y, and Z. 240. Sa baba, 260 minus 250 equals sa X, or gawin na natin letter H. Okay, so this is H, or H na lang para yun na kayo malito. So we use that H minus 2923.2 over 2946.7 minus 2923.2. Sige, left side muna. Simplify the left side. Actually, sa calculator nyo madali ito. Pero hindi ko sasabihin. Kaya mag-discover. 2/5. Sige nga. 254 minus 250. Ayan. Yes, 2/5. 2/5 times. Ito, ano, what is the difference between this? The 2946.7 minus 2923.2. This is 23.5. And h minus 292. So, in finding the h, ano mangyayari, class? 2923 plus 2/5 now. Sige nga. What is now your h? What is now your h? Sige nga. May calculator na tayo. Magagamit natin ang calculator natin. Tama ba si ma'am? Mali. Ayun. Okay. 29. What is the other answer of your classmate? 2932, okay. 2932.6 kilojoule per kilogram. So, this is now your answer here in the problem. Enthalpy lang yan. Pero during exam, pinapahanap dyan is yung specific volume, yung internal energy, yung H, yung S. So, isa pa lang yung class interpolation. Okay? So, you need to practice more para mahanap natin yung internal, how do you call this? Mahanap natin kung ilan yung dapat alam natin to yung interpolation class Huwag yung kakalimutan to. On how do we interpolate. Okay? Yan. So, in computation, so needed din siya. Okay? So, how about we compute for how do we compute for a certain quality and the percent moisture? Sige nga. Another example, last example before leaving the class. Okay? Another example, so at 250 degrees Celsius, a mixture, last na class, para madami kayong mapagpraktisan. Saturated steam and liquid water exist in equilibrium. Ayan. So, sabi dito, if the specific volume of the mixture is 0.04159 cubic meter per kilogram, calculate, excuse me class A, the quality, and B, the percent moisture. So, dalawa yung pinapanap sa atin. Okay, so since sinabi sa atin that the given is a mixture of saturated steam, ang given lang sa atin is yung saturation temperature natin at 250 degrees Celsius. So, punta kagad kayo doon sa table 1. Ayan. 250 page, ano yan, sa table 1. Table 1. Ayan, page 6. Very good. So, sa 250 class, since sa problem sa atin ay given in a specific volume, doon muna lang tayo mag-focus. Specific volume din. So, 250. Sa table 6 class, we have 250. So, kailangan natin, ang given sa atin na specific volume sa problem is 0.04159 cubic meter per kilogram. Okay? So, sa steam table, the steam table natin, we all know that specific volume at saturated liquid is from 250. And in test, we have 1.2512 times 10 to the negative 3 cubic meter per kilogram mass. Wait lang, class. Okay. And yung specific volume natin at saturated liquid, that is 50.13. Am I right? Times 10 to the negative 3 cubic meter per kilogram. So, para hindi na kayo malito sa pag-solve, i-move mo na to. 1, 2, 3 cubic meter per kilogram mass. And dito, 1. Okay. Ayan. Baka may magtanong, ha? Tig-raise lang yan, tig-convert lang yan naman para hindi na kayo malito. Okay? So, how do we compute for the quality? We all know, balikan niyo yung nag-derive natin na formula. We have VF plus X VFG. But we all know that a certain specific volume at that given point. So, plus the X, the difference between the saturated vapor and the liquid. Ayan. Given sa atin kasi ito, yung 0.04159 cubic meter per kilogram. Specific volume natin at X, Vg minus Vf. Okay. And computing for the quality, we have V minus Vf, certain point, over the difference between Vg and the Vf. Finding for the quality, mabilis ba si ma'am? 04159. So, pag nag-compute class, kahit gusto ko may units. VF. So, ito. Gagamitin natin. Ayan. Vg, 0.0. 5013 cubic meter minus same. Ayan. So, compute for the quality. Sige nga, class. Compute for the quality. 0.04159. May nagka-compute na ba? Na class? Sadong mabilis si ma'am. 50, 13 minus 0.012512. So, what is now the answer? May answer na ba? Wala. Naunahan pa yun, ma'am. 0.82. Bakit 32? Ayan. Baka na mali lang ang input. Okay? So, 82, 52.8. But, always express your answer into percentage times 100. So, this is 82.53%. So, this is now your quality. So, para mas madali, para makuha yung percent moisture natin, so, y is equal to 100 minus 82%. So, your percent moisture is how many? So we have 17.47%. So this is now your percent moisture. Okay? Whew. So that is just the basic and fundamental in computing for the properties of a wet steam. Okay ba, class? Naintindihan ba, class? Naintindihan ba ang aking mga estudyante? Masyado bang mabilis si ma'am? Okay. But my question, class, i-PM na lang si ma'am. Okay? If you don't have any questions, then can I request everyone? Ayan. May question pa, class? I-PM na lang si ma'am. Okay? So, ano ko, overload masyado. But this is an example. Ayan. Ibibigay ko naman to class sa inyo. Properties of steam. And the different properties of the steam. Okay? So, I will stop screen sharing. Okay. Okay, balik ako dito sa aking cellphone. Okay, can I request everyone to open their camera? Wait lang, nahulog to. Okay, wait lang. Gutom na kayo, class. Hindi pa kayo nag-breakfast. Pwede naman mag-breakfast habang bikinig kay mama. Diba? Ayan. Vibrated si mama. Ayan. So, where are the others? Where are people? Ayan. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Breakfast is not ready or ready now? Okay, so everyone, ready na ba? Thank you for coming today. Ayan. Wait lang, guys. Ayan. Bakit parang konti pala nag-open camera? So, recorded to, class, i-send ko na lang. Okay, so thank you and God bless. 1, 2, 3, smile. Smile, class. Ayan, andyan na lahat. Thank you. Okay, thank you. And good afternoon. Ay, good afternoon. Thank you, class. And you can now leave the class. So, upload ko na lang to mamaya, class.
Bye po,
Sige po.
ma'am.
Thank you so much po, ma'am. Bye po.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you po.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Bye-bye.